You helped draft a resolution condemning anti-Semitism after some more controversial comments from the freshman Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, who is one of 2 Muslim women now in Congress. And just so our viewers understand the whole story, because it is a very significant one, here's Suzanne Malveaux.
I know how it feels to be hated because of my religious beliefs. I am proof that as Americans, we can embrace our differences.
Freshman Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, sworn into office just 2 months ago, now facing an extraordinary public admonishment from her own party for several controversial comments about Israel's supporters and American politics.
Her remarks were reprehensible.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi to take the floor with some other top Democrats with a resolution, which does not mention Omar by name, acknowledges the dangerous consequences of perpetuating anti-Semitic stereotypes, and rejects anti-Semitism as hateful expressions of intolerance. The most recent issue for many of her fellow Democrats, Omar's remark criticizing Israel at this town hall last week.
I want to talk about the political influence in this country that says it is okay for people to push for allegiance to a foreign country.
The ADL and some Jewish lawmakers strongly denouncing her comments as anti-Semitic. President Trump seizing on her past comments.
And Congressman Omar is terrible what she said. And I think she should either resign from Congress or she should certainly resign from the House Foreign Affairs Committee.
Omar fighting back, tweeting, "I am told every day that I am anti-American if I'm not pro-Israel. I find that to be problematic, and I am not alone. I just happen to be willing to speak up on it and open myself to attacks." It's not the first time Omar's comments have generated controversy. Last month, Pelosi called Omar's tweets deeply offensive after Omar described the impact of pro-Israel lobbyists in the U.S. as all about the Benjamins, baby. Omar later apologized, saying, "Anti-Semitism is real, and I am grateful for Jewish allies and colleagues who are educating me on the painful history of anti-Semitic tropes. This is why I unequivocally apologize."
And I just want to make sure everyone had the full story there, Chairman. So obviously, you know, you've written this resolution. You do not name her in the resolution by name, but it's clearly aimed at her, just like the resolution about Steve King and white supremacy was aimed at him, even though he wasn't mentioned. Congresswoman Omar has a pattern of similar comments. Do you think she is an anti-Semite?
I don't throw names around. I think the remarks she's made have been very troubling. I've spoken out very publicly and forcefully about it and saying that she should apologize. Look, you hope that people get elected to office and they grow. I would hope the same thing would happen to her, but I'm not going to sit silent as long as there are people who are yelling out anti-Semitic tropes or anti-anything tropes, by the way. I'm opposed to Islamophobia. I'm opposed to hatred of any group. So I certainly am not going to be quiet when there's anti-Semitism. I've fought against anti-Semitism my whole life.
And I want to ask you, when you mention Islamophobia, there is talk tonight that you may add language into this. So it isn't just about condemning anti-Semitism. It'd also be condemning Islamophobia or anti-Muslim bias. Are you going to add that wording in, or are you going to keep this specifically to anti-Semitism?
Well, first of all, it's not up to me. The leadership has been looking at it, and a whole bunch of people have put their imprint on it and have said what we think would happen. So I think a lot of things are still being decided as we are talking now.
And I know, when we talk about white supremacy, people understandably in some cases want to call something out as racist or white supremacist and not say that the person doing it is a racist, right? So they'll say that's a racist comment, but they don't want to say the person's a racist. And I just want to understand with Congresswoman Omar, it's clear what you're saying is that some of the things she has said have been clearly anti-Semitic, but you just don't want to level the charge anti-Semite at her.
Well, I'm hoping that she'll grow and she'll change. I'm hoping some people change their beliefs. I'm hoping she'll change hers. I think what she said was wrong and hurtful. I think she should understand that. And I've been very vocal about it. And I feel very against strongly, certainly against anti-Semitism, but I think these tropes are not to be washed away, and the same thing again for anti-anything. We need to have discussions here in Washington, not on the basis of race or religion or national origin, but on what's best for the American people.
You're the chairman of a really important committee, right? Foreign Affairs. This is the center of a lot, and it's certainly the center of this discussion about Israel. At what point do you say to her, Congresswoman Omar, look, you're not on this committee anymore, you strip her of your seat? Are you close to that, or at that point?
No, I'm not close to it. First of all, it's not up to me. This is done by the leadership. I don't know that would do anything except exacerbate the situation even more. I'm looking to get rid of anti-Semitism, not looking to punish anybody. I think that it's very important that we keep our eye on the prize, and I think that whenever there is hatred being spewed, or again, racism, anti-Semitism, homophobia, Islamophobia, I think we have to speak out, and that's what I'm doing here.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much, Chairman.